Do expensive shoes make you run faster? In this video, I'm gonna test out these 3 shoes in 3 different price points to find out whether these super shoes make you faster or not. Let's get into it. Now, in recent years, there's been a massive change in the running shoe industry. And this big change has seen a massive spike in running shoe prices, especially compared to when I was a kid and you'd have $5 Dunlop volleys to run around the block in. And the question that comes to my mind is if you're actually getting more performance out of your performance shoes. But before we test out these super shoes, we have to have a look at our entry-level budget shoes. I got these shoes for $30 at my local sporting outlet store, and I'm not sure what brand they are actually. Do they even have a brand? Circuit's the brand apparently. Well, there you go. $30. And look how easy they are to put on. How good's the lockdown? All right, let's get started with these budget shoes. Hopefully no one steals my camera. So how am I gonna be testing these shoes? Well, I'm gonna take the heart rate off my watch and I'm gonna run at threshold heart rate, which for me is about 165 for all 3 shoes over a 2-kilometer period. Now, some of you are probably thinking, you're not gonna be able to get your heart rate up fast enough to make this a reliable test. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut out the first 400 meters and only use the last mile in my recording. That means that I'm gonna get my heart rate up and then try and sustain it at 165 to see what time I actually get. Hey, for a first go, they weren't too bad. Well, surprisingly, the shoe's not too bad for 30 bucks. As you can tell, there's not actually that much stack height or any foam really. And a lot of shoes these days do have really high stack heights and it just makes it feel a little bit more unstable. And what this means is that most beginner runners could just hop into this shoe and not have to worry about how unstable like a high stack height shoe feels. And for such a cheap shoe, they're actually not too bad. But the question that I have is how long would they last that way before they completely fall apart? Hopefully it's not like $1 per kilometer that I'm losing. Let me know in the comments below how long you think these shoes will actually last. And yes, I'm gonna be running in them because I bought them. Now I'd imagine that the quality of the foam in the midsole is gonna be pretty bad and it's probably gonna compress fairly quickly. But for the first run, it actually felt really good. Now, if you're looking to upgrade from a beginner shoe, then there's no other shoe to pick than the shoe of the people, the Nike Pegasus. I picked these shoes up on discount for $70 at my local Nike outlet store, but I regularly see them on special for $100. So this is such a good deal. And what you're also getting with that extra bit of money is a better fit. And what you're getting with that better fit is a better feel. And it's much more likely you're gonna be able to run faster in these shoes compared to the no brand shoes. But the question is, are they faster? Let's find out. All right, let's go. These feel good. Now, if you guys are wondering why I chose to do the heart rate at 165, it's about threshold. And it means that I'm less likely to get more tired as the workout goes on because I want this to be as accurate as possible. And I'll be honest, these shoes feel much better, but it's a hot day and they're black. So, you know, I wouldn't recommend it. Now, this shoe is a staple for most runners and I can understand why. It's a pretty good all-round shoe. They feel way more responsive underfoot and in a way they feel a little bit stiffer too, which is probably gonna help with the durability and also that bounce off the road as you're running. And I'd imagine that these shoes may cause some issues for beginner runners who aren't used to that pounding on their legs when they're running. But are they that much better to warrant a $70 price increase over the no brand shoes? I'll discuss this in the analysis at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. All right, time for the $300 pair of shoes. The Nike Vaporfly exploded onto the scene a couple of years ago with the likes of Eliud Kipchoge using them and popularizing them during his sub 2-hour marathon attempts and eventual success. But what about this shoe makes it 3 times better than the Pegasus? Well, there are 3 things that make it way better. And the first one is obviously the color because it's sick. Now, the second is of course the carbon plate. And this characteristic is why you can't bend this shoe like at all. Like, look at this. There's like nothing. Look at this one. See this one? At least this one actually springs back though. So that's another benefit is that this one actually springs back. So it's pretty clear how stiff these shoes are compared to the Pegasus and the budget shoes. And the third thing is the foam that Nike designed to be as soft and responsive as possible. And I think that it's the foam that makes these shoes so fast and not the carbon plate. I think the carbon plate is there to hold it together because if you didn't have the carbon plate, these things would just fall apart because this foam is so soft. But look at it, it's so soft and squishy, like a little marshmallow. And Nike claim that this foam has amazing responsiveness and energy return and claim that it will improve your running economy by 4%. I'm not sure I believe that number, but nothing else on the market feels as good as this shoe. But are they fast? Let's find out. Well, that was fun. And boy, do these things feel so fast, even on this crappy gravel trail. All right, let's have a look at these results. The budget shoes ran a 6:05 mile in that time trial, which ain't too bad. And for a $30 pair of shoes, you can't go wrong. And the Pegasus, well, they ran a 6:03 mile, which is only 2 seconds faster. And I'll get into what that means at the end of the video, but let's look at what the Vaporfly got. Okay, so the Vaporfly's got a 5:57 mile. That is 6 seconds faster than the Pegasus and 8 seconds faster than the Circuit shoes in only 1 mile. So yes, they are a little bit faster, but the question is, are these shoes the right ones for you? Now, if you're a beginner runner, I'd recommend going with the budget shoes or the Pegasus if you want to spend a little bit more money. When you start running, you aren't running for a long period of time or really fast, so any footwear really is okay. So the emphasis on footwear for me is not as big of a deal as most people make it out to be, especially if you're a beginner runner. So if not having a pair of shoes is your only barrier to start running, then go to your local store, get a cheap pair of shoes and just start. Now the Pegasus is the most versatile shoe of the three because both elite and beginner runners can use this in their shoe rotation. And while it doesn't have the speed of the Vaporfly, what you're getting in return is lots of durability and a long-lasting shoe that you can put lots and lots of Ks into. The Vaporflies, on the other hand, really are only for one crowd. The Speedy Boys with Morton gels and Oakleys and Razorback singlets. This shoe isn't gonna last as long as the Pegasus, and probably not even the budget shoe, to be honest. And that's due to the really soft foam that we talked about earlier. So no, you can't use these as daily trainers. Unless you're getting them for free from Nike, then go for it. So there we have it. Super shoes are faster and they are worth it if you're focused on going really fast. And if you're focused on speed, then you're gonna need to watch these next 2 videos about how to get faster in the half marathon and the 10K. So go watch them. You can choose your own journey here.